Thanks for joining me on the mat. So today's session is just going to be a 20-minute workout, just a little bit more of a stretch, a deep stretch, opening the whole of the body. We'll be working into the hips, the hip flexors, releasing into the lower back and stretching out the spine too. So you're not going to need any equipment at all. So just find yourself a space onto your mat. Make sure that you've got enough space around the mat as well. And then we're just going to come down and just start off into our child's pose. So I'm just going to bring my feet towards the back of the mat. Feet together, knees open, and just bringing our hands down the length of the mat. Ideally the hands are about shoulder distance apart. So the first few minutes of the session is just going to be feeling how the body feels, allowing the breath and the body to start to connect again, and opening the ribs as we breathe and slowly relax and stretch. So let's reach our arms down towards the mat. Breathe in slow. Breathe out and feel the body start to soften and come down towards the mat. Breathing in, opening the ribs. Breathe out and draw the ribs and the chest down towards the mat. Breathing in slow, open, slight lift. Breathe out, bring the chest and the ribs down a bit lower. So we're just going to stay with that breath and that movement, and ideally having an active stretch, allowing the hips to sit back, the arms to come forward. Every out breath, the chest comes down a little bit lower. And we're just thinking about lengthening through the spine. Breathing nice and slow. Opening through the ribs. And letting the chest expand and lower and deep into the mat. We're just going to do one more like this, just hovering the face on the mat. And if we feel okay and our neck is okay, we're going to start to look forward towards the fingertips. We're going to breathe in slow, open the ribs. Lengthen the arms, breathe out, bring the chest and ribs down. Breathe in, open the ribs. Breathe out, looking forward, little chin lift, breathe out, chest down. Breathe in slow. Breathe out and chest low. Reach further forward if you can, one more time, hips back. Breathe in. Breathe out, chest nice and low. Now we're going to just start to glue the hands down, hover the chest and rock side to side. So don't worry too much if the hips are too high at the minute. Over time they will start to loosen, we will be able to get the heels a little bit lower. But our aim is to be pushing into the hands, releasing the tension in the fingers, and trying to push the hips back towards the heels. Bringing the chest and the ribs down, skimming along the floor. And also maybe a tiny lift into the hips as we come up. So we're pushing down in the centre. And we might do a little lift at the end. So as we get towards the knee and the thigh, might be a slight lift and a rock. And sway and skim the floor. Breathing in slow, reaching forward. Breathing out slow, pressing the chest down. So it's quite an active stretch. It doesn't really look like much, but it is quite a deep active stretch. Maybe bringing the hips into it now. Start to swing the hips side to side, open up the inner thighs. Still reaching forward, still pressing the hips back, bringing the chest down slow. 2 more times. 1 more. And then hold and settle forward. First of all, we're going to bring the right elbow back towards the right knee. Take the left arm up and over to the top right corner of the mat. So hands are in the same line. We're going to look under the left arm now, breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to push our left ribs to the sides of the room. Glue our hands to the floor, breathe in. Breathe out, press our ribs to the left side of the room. 2 more times, breathe in. Breathe out, push the hands into the floor. Push the ribs to the left side. 1 more, breathe in. Breathe out, press and open the ribs to the left. Come back, soften and relax. Draw the left elbow down towards the knee. Take the right arm up and over, ideally in line with the opposite hand. Glue the hands to the floor. Breathe in, look under the ribs for me. Breathe out and press your ribs to the right side of the room now. Breathe in and soften. Breathe out, right ribs to the right side of the room. Breathe in, deep spine stretch. Breathe out and push to the right. 1 more time, last time, breathe in. Breathe out, press to the right side of the room. This time, come up. It looks like we're going into box position. We're going to stretch forwards and take what was looking like the child's pose before a little bit deeper into puppy pose. We're going to leave our hips above our knees, hip distance apart. We're going to reach our arms forward. Breathe in, keep looking towards your fingers for me. Breathe out and press the chest down nice and low. Breathe in slow, a light lift. Breathe out, chest down nice and low. Now if this feels a little bit too deep, we can rest the elbows down and just stretch a little bit less. But if we feel okay, we reach the arms forward, elbows high, arms long. Breathe out and press down. One more time, breathing in. Breathe out and press down nice and low. And slowly coming up, back nice and straight, and stopping with our hands underneath our shoulders. It looks like our box position to start off with. We're going to just breathe nice and slow. And as we breathe out, we're going to round the back and curl into a cat pose. Breathe in, flow through cat-cow. Open up the shoulders and hips like a cow. Breathe out and round like a scared cat. Let's go again. Breathe in, open chest, shoulders, maybe pull the head back. Breathe out, round, scoop, curl everything up to the ceiling, cat. Breathe in, open chest, front of the body, shoulders. Breathing out, round, scoop, and lift into cat. One more time now, breathe in, open chest, shoulders, front of body. Breathe out, curl, up into cat. Back nice and straight and hold. Push up and into our downward dog. So we're going to soften our knees to begin. Send the hips high to the ceiling and loosen out through the shoulders. This time we're going to breathe in and push one heel down. Breathe out and change sides. Breathe in, one heel to the floor. Breathe out and change sides. Now we're going to keep sending our hips high to the ceiling as we're moving. And we're trying not to drop right or left through the hips. The hips are just pushing up high as the heel lowers down. Up high as the heel lowers down. Now that might be deep enough for you just to hold into this position. But if you can start to bring the upper body into it too and open up the chest and shoulders a bit more, we'll push chest towards the thigh that's bending. Breathe in, breathe out. So as one heel goes down, chest moves into the thigh that bends. Breathe in. Breathe out, chest to thighs. Breathe in, soften. Breathe out, chest to thighs. So now everything's moving together now. You might feel like just loosening up the chest and relaxing and only using it, working into the legs. It's absolutely fine. Go with what feels good for you today. Breathe nice and slow. Move nice and slow. Last two. One more. And both heels down. It's a little bit intense. We are coming off this position just a second. But breathe in, open through the chest. Breathe out, sink the heels lower. Breathe in, open through the chest. Breathe out, sink the heels lower. One more time. Breathe in, open the ribs and chest. Breathe out, sink the heels low. Light press with the chest towards the thighs. And slowly as we go to come down into box position, bring the left leg forward and lower the back knee. So the left knee is down, allow the foot to relax. And when you're ready, just slowly come up with the hands into prayer position. Now, I want the foot to relax at the back if you can, so the toes are not curls under. And the front knee and the ankle is in line, so we're not going to bring the knee too far forward in this. So make sure that we've got a lovely angle at the knee. Hands into prayer position and relax through the shoulders. We're going to hold the position as we breathe in. If we can, if we're okay, we're going to breathe out and press a little bit further forward so the hips will be going forward and the ribcage will be drawing back. Breathe in, maybe soften the tiniest bit. Breathe out and press the chest and the ribs a little bit further forward. Breathe in. As the chest and the ribs go forward, the front hip comes forward too, so the right hip will come forward. Breathe in, slow, shoulders back. Breathe out and press forward and hold. Now let's allow the shoulders to come back. If there's pressure on the knee, if the knee doesn't feel comfortable, you can always put a little blanket underneath the knee. That's not a problem. If you feel okay, let's stay in this position. Maybe you might want to bring the hands down towards the hips because we're here for a while. Maybe if you want a deeper stretch, you're going to take the hands towards the lower back and press the elbows back together and press the rib cage forwards. It'll deepen the stretch at the front of the hip. Either way, whichever you've chose, I want you to lift the rib cage up for me and shoulders back and down. Find a point of focus straight ahead and just say that then it will help with your balance. Relax through the shoulders. It's quite deep stretch in this front thigh now. Even the front left thigh is starting to work. Just let's stay here for 2 more breaths. Breathe in, press this right hip forwards a little bit deeper if you can. 1 more time, breathe in, breathe out and ease off. Now you can put the hands onto the thigh to ease out, but slowly bring the chest down towards the thigh now. So I'm trying not to sit back into the heels. I'm going to try and keep the foot connected. If it lifts, it's not really a problem. But what I want to try and do is lengthen this front left leg now. I don't want to round and curl and bring the head and the chest down to the thigh. I'd like, if I can, to lengthen through the spine, connect the thigh and the stomach together, and then lengthen and lower down into a hamstring stretch. The hands are lightly onto the floor. The hips are pushing up towards the ceiling. I've got this deep stretch now in the front of the left leg. If I can, ideally I'll press the front left foot into the floor. I'll send the hips higher to the ceiling. So I'm really still trying to straighten this left leg while I'm bringing the ribs down towards the thigh without curling and giving it a little bit of space here. I want to flatten and lower that space. Breathe out, bring the chest lower. Breathe in, slow, relax. Any tension in the upper body loosen. Breathe out and send the hips up higher. Deep, deep stretch at the back of the leg for 1 more breath. And then slowly allow the knee to bend. As the knee bends, hands down, frame the foot, toes tucked under. Hold this position. Lightly press the back heel towards the floor. You can come up onto hands if you want, or if you've got blocks to the side, you can have the hands on blocks if the hands won't go down. And we're having a deep hip flexor stretch again, just in a slightly different way this time. Hopefully what you're seeing is head to back heel in as straight a line as I can get. If it's too intense, I might want to soften the knee a little bit. But I want to almost try and send the front knee forwards as the back heel is pressing down. I've got a lift into my hips so they're not sinking, and I'm in a strong pose. Holding this position for 1 more breath. I'm going to try and place the right hand down underneath the shoulder, all joints in line if I can. Then I'm going to lift through the ribs on the left side. I'm going to lift the arm up into the air or take the hand to the head. I'm going to hold it here now. I'm still pressing the back heel down and the back right leg as straight as I can get it. I'm going to hold. If this is enough, I'm going to stay there. But if I can, I'm going to stay still, breathe in. As I breathe out, I'm going to open the left shoulder back and try and look towards the ceiling. Breathe in, I might soften. Breathe out and I'll pull back and draw back a little bit more, trying not to move the back leg. Breathing in, breathe out, open. Remember, I can do this with my arm up straight if I want. 1 more time, breathe in. I might want to stay still. Breathe out and pull back. When you're ready, slowly come back down. And this time, step back and down into the downward dog. Send the hips to the ceiling. Lower the heels to the floor. Strong breath in. Breathe out and step forwards again. Don't worry too much about whether you're going to step forward to the inside or outside of the hands, because when we're in position, we're going to lower the back knee and line the leg up anyway. So I'd like, if I can, the ankle, the knee and the hip in line. Again at the back, the ankle, the knee and the hip in line. Again, I'm going to decide which feels comfortable. It might be slightly different on this side, that's absolutely fine. But I'm going to maybe bring my hands into the lower back. If I do, I'll bring the elbows back and squeeze the shoulder blades together. That'll release the shoulder blades and open up the chest. Or I might decide to have the hands onto the hips or into prayer position. Whatever feels comfortable and whatever allows me to stretch a little bit deeper. So you might just see me softening and just changing position through the pose. Again, just explore what feels good for you. Slight challenge, but not too deep, never ever a pain. So I'm going to find that point of focus again. I'm going to stay straight ahead. My neck is in line with the rest of the spine. I'm not looking up or back or too low. And then I'm going to allow the hips to sink forwards as I breathe in. Breathe out, nice and slow, draw the stomach into the spine. Again, as I'm just exploring this stretch, I'm trying to open the ribs away from the bottom hip. And while I'm in this pose, if I'm starting to feel a little bit too much pressure in the back knee, I'll just take a little blanket and place it underneath the knee. Do that anytime that you need to. All this pose is about you opening the front of your body, opening up into your hip flexor and feeling what feels good for you. So we're going to just allow the shoulders to relax. And every time we're breathing out, we're pressing the hips that little bit further forward and open out the hip flexor in the front of the body. Staying here for a couple more breaths. I know it feels quite deep now. This side's starting to work a little bit more. We've got one more breath. We're going to press into it that little bit deeper, open the ribs, hips forward, and then slowly come back and ease out. Now as I ease out, I bring my hands down, I frame the foot. I hopefully allow the toes to lower down, but again, don't worry too much if they come up. And then I'm going to try and lengthen this right leg as much as I can. Now, I want to just slowly again bring my rib cage down, so I don't want to curl and come down with my chest and head, and I don't want this space. I want to lengthen through the spine, and I want to bring the ribs down towards the thigh and send the hips up to the ceiling. So again, I want to try and find length into the back of the leg and also lengthen the spine without rounding and curling, no tension, because I also want to release the lower back as well. Staying here as we're breathing in. Breathe out, relaxing through the arms, trying to lower the body, lower down if I can. Breathing in slow. Breathe out, send the hips up a little bit higher, torso down towards the thigh. One more breath, breathe in. Breathe out, lower down a little bit deeper if I can, lengthen through that front right leg. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out and lower down just that little bit further. I'm going to press my weight into the front right foot as I bend the knee. I'm now going to tuck the back toes under. I'm going to come up and hold the back leg straight now. So ideally, again, I'm just double checking that I've got my foot and my knee in line. I'm just going to open up my chest, take the pressure through both hands if I can, or maybe if it's okay, come up onto the fingers or the knuckles. And I'm going to press the back heel back for this deep hip opener. Again, I'm looking for head to heels in a lovely straight line if I can get that. I'm going to try and press the back heel down into the floor. If I can, I'm going to lift the hips just a tiny bit, but not out of line. I'm locking the stomach into the spine and breathing slow. I can stay here, or I can line the left hand up with the elbow and the shoulder. I can open the right ribs off the thigh. And then I'm going to take the right arm up into the air for a lovely twist. Now I don't want to lean back away from it. I want to bring the left ribs, left chest towards the insides of the right thigh, so I've got a complete twist in the torso. And then I'm going to take my right arm up to the air. I might want to take it to my hand again. It's entirely up to you what feels nice. And I'm going to breathe in slow. As I breathe out, open the ribs and the shoulders and torso round. Breathe in as I release and lower. Breathe out as you come back and round. I'm going to do two more, but I'm going to be very aware that this knee isn't opening out. It's staying close to my ribs and chest. Breathe in. Lock that back heel back. Breathe out and open up. One more time for a lovely deep stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out and open up. Lovely deep stretch up to the ceiling with the torso. Come round and frame the foot. This time when I'm ready, I'm going to step back. I might need some assistance, so I might just take the foot down or the knee down, but then I'll come back to downward dog. The hips are going nice and high. Feet are hip distance apart. Hands are shoulder distance apart, and I breathe slow. I'm going to send the hips high. I'm going to release the knees slightly, just loosen up the knees. Breathe in. As I breathe out, send the heels down, still with a slight bend in the knees, so it's not too much tension at the back of the knees. One more time, breathing in, loosen the shoulders, loosen the neck. Breathe out and hips up high. This time as I come down, lower the knees, relax the feet, and have a deep, deep stretch. And relax into child's pose. If you want, you can lower the head to one side, have the face facing down. It's entirely up to you, but allow the elbows to relax. Allow the shoulders to relax. Hips are pushing back towards the heels. And just breathe in slow. One more breath here now, breathe in. As we breathe out, gently, slowly come up to seated pose. And draw the shoulders back and open through the chest. Now this time when you're ready, you're going to find a comfortable seated pose. It might be cross-legged seated pose, it might be legs out in front, it might even be bent in the knees, but whatever feels good for you. If this seated pose doesn't feel comfortable though, you could use a cushion, a pillow or a blanket or even a yoga block and just sit that underneath your hips, and you'll see it will release the hips and I'll be able to relax the knees a little bit more. But if not, if you're okay, just sit in any comfortable seated pose. From here, we're going to take the arms up above the head. And we're going to just cross the fingers or open the fingers, maybe interlace the fingers, it's up to you. And relax through the shoulders. Now breathe in slow. Breathe out, come up and over to the left hand side. Feel them ribs open on the right. Breathe in and come up, relax the shoulders. Breathe out and over to the opposite side. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out and over, open the left ribs. One more time, breathe in slow, shoulders relaxed. Breathe out and over. This time, let's take that a little bit further, take the arms down by the sides of the body. Take the left hand to the head. Relax the left arm down. Open up the chest as if something's right in front of us, so we want to sit away from it nice and tall. And let's go up and over to the right hand side of the room. Don't worry too much if it's right or left, we're going to do both. Breathe in as we go up and over. Breathe out and back. Just two more, same side. Breathe in as we go up and over, nice and high. Breathe out as we come back. One more time now. Breathe in, up and over. Really lift the elbow, lift the ribs. Breathe out and back. Opposite side. Breathe in, hand to the head. We're going to go up and over to the left side. Breathe in. Breathe out and back. Two more to go, nice and slow. Breathe in. Think length, lift, arch, and breathe out. One more time. Open every rib. Breathe in nice and tall. Breathe out, back and down. So this time we're going to roll the shoulders back. Sit nice and tall and bring the hands into prayer position. Ideally we'll find the nose, the breastbone, and the hands all in line with the fingertips. And hopefully we're not going to move the head on its own. We're going to move it all in one go. So we'll all do that together at the same time. Allow the spine to lengthen, shoulders to relax. And just give me one big deep breath in through the nose first to start. Breathe out, rotate to your left, but keep the nose, the breastbone, the chest all in line. Breathe in to come back. Breathe out to relax. Breathe in to hold. Breathe out to rotate. Breathe in to come back. Breathe out to relax. Now let's change that breath. This time, hold as we breathe in. Rotate as you breathe out. Hold to breathe in. Rotate to come back to center. Hold to breathe in. Rotate to twist round to the opposite side. Hold to breathe in. Rotate to come back. Please do that again one more time each side. Breathe in. Try and keep the knees open if you're in cross-leg position. Breathe out. Hold to breathe in. Sit tall, rotate back to breathe out. One more time now. Hold to breathe in. Rotate to the sides as we breathe out. Hold to breathe in. Back to the sides as we breathe out. Well done. Bring the soles of the feet together. Place the hands around the toes and the feet. And then I'm going to walk the pelvis towards the heels, or I might walk the heels towards the pelvis. When you're ready, we're just going to hold into this position at the minute we're sitting nice and tall. We're just settling the breath and feeling how this feels, maybe moving, opening the knees just a little bit. And then when you're ready, if you want to go a little bit deeper, we're going to take the elbows to the insides of the knees. And don't worry if you're this high up, it's not a problem, you can still do the same pose. But we're just going to try and allow our body to relax into it. Elbows to the inside of the knees or the thighs. And as you breathe out, we're just going to gently press the elbows down to the knees and really press and open the inner thighs a little bit deeper. Breathe in. As we breathe out, gently pull on the feet so the chest can come down and the inner thighs can open as we press onto the inside of the thighs. Breathe in slow. Breathe out and press, press, press. One more time, breathing in slow. Breathing out and pressing down nice and deep. When you're ready, gently slowly come up to a seated position. Take the legs out in front. The legs are nice and long. And now we're just going to take this left leg and place it over the right knee. Now if we can, we're going to leave it by the knee, or we might want to just draw it up the thigh slightly. But we're going to lengthen this right leg out in front, and you might want to press the sole of the foot away, or you might want to relax it, just see what feels good for you today. Lift the ribcage nice and tall for me, shoulders back and down, and just hug the knee in towards the chest. What this is going to do is act as a rod up the spine and stop you from slouching or rolling forwards. Keep the shoulders down, the chest proud. Even the neck, the back of the neck is nice and long, so the chin is slightly in. And we're just staying here in this pose, just breathe and slow. If you're okay with this, we might just take that right hand and wrap it around that leg, the opposite leg. And then we'll take the left hand and add another rod behind our back. So we're going to lock the arms straight with the fingers facing the back of the room. Sit nice and tall, breathe in. As you breathe out, look over your right shoulder as you breathe out. We'll breathe in slow to come back. Breathe out to twist and rotate. Keep that going and stay in that pose for me as we breathe in slow. We'll breathe out and twist and rotate and try and draw the shoulder back, open the torso, look round over our shoulder. Breathe in slow. Breathe out and twist right the way round. As we're doing this one more time, we're trying to pull this knee in towards our chest. Breathe in. Breathe out, twist, draw the knee to chest, draw the shoulder back, looking over the shoulder, and come back round and to center. So this time we're going to have our legs as long as we can. We're going to reach forward towards the thighs. Our hands may come down to the knees, they may come down to the shins, they might come down to the feet. But we're going to breathe in, try and soften this lift, try not to curl, lengthen through the spine and lower down to stretch the backs of the hamstrings. One more time, we'll breathe in, slow, lift, lengthen the spine, don't curl and round, breathe out and come down. One more time, wherever you're holding on to, hold on, breathe in. Breathe out, bring the torso down nice and long, try not to curl through the spine, flatten and lower the ribs, and slowly come up into our seated pose. Let's go to the opposite side now. So we're going to take the right leg and we're going to take it across the body. So the right foot is over the left knee. Again, the left leg is lovely and long, and we might just relax the foot or push the heel away. Again, it's up to you. But as we're drawing this right leg in towards the chest, we're sitting up nice and tall, so that's acting as a rod to keep us nice and strong. We're going to need the hold in this position if that's enough of a stretch on the outside of the hip. But if we can, we're going to wrap the left arm around the leg. We're going to take the right hand and place it behind the body. Now again, if you just stay into that pose for me, you just hold it there. What you'll feel is that you're opening your fingers to the back of the room. The arm is going to lock, and again, that acts as our second rod. So we've got our spine nice and tall, we've got our arm locked, that's stopping us from slouching, and we're sitting tall again. Every time you rotate, try and pull this leg, knee to chest a little bit closer. Breathe in slow. Breathe out, look over that shoulder, and twist, 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 twist. Breathe in slow. Breathe out and rotate and twist. Don't forget to pull this knee into your chest. Breathe in slow. Breathe out, rotate and twist. One more time, nice and strong. Breathe in, sit tall. Breathe out, rotate and twist. Well done. Allow the body to relax. Allow the legs to loosen. And one more time. Let's lengthen through the legs. Sit up tall. And bring the torso, lower stomach, ribs, chest and thighs down towards the knees. When you're ready, breathe in slow. Breathe out and pull. Ribs down towards thighs. Breathe in slow. Breathe out. Ribs down towards thighs. Only one more time here. Breathe in. Lengthen the body as much as you can. Hug the chest to the thighs. Breathe out and slowly inhale. When you're ready, come into that comfortable seated position again. What feels good for you? Allow the shoulders to relax. Sit nice and tall. Let's do 2 of these together. Hands onto the thighs or knees. Allow the body to sink and fold. Head comes down. Breathe in. Shoulders come round. Lift up as you breathe out. Shoulders, spine and head. Shoulders curl back and down. Let's go again, nice and slow. Breathe in as we fold. Breathe out as we come up, back and down. Let's do one more time. Breathe in as we fold. Breathe out as we lift. Shoulders back and down. Lift up through the head. Spine nice and tall. And hands into prayer position. Allow your shoulders to relax. Hopefully your body's feeling a little bit loose now. And you're feeling nice and relaxed. Lower the eyes, lower the gaze. Close the eyes. Take one big deep breath in, slow. Breathe out, allow the body to relax. And if you're happy to stay here for a little bit longer. And if not, thank you for coming, and hopefully I'll see you again on the mat soon.